The only thing that a man's wedding ring guarantees, only thing this guarantees is that no good girls try to holler at me. That's it. Only the bad ones.
Warning: SirRodcast can lead to an array of side effects. Symptoms like nausea, vomiting, explosive diarrhea, sudden distaste for previously loved foods, and an inexplicable headache might emerge, persistently nagging like a bad song stuck in your head. Prolonged SirRodcast exposure, you might find yourself breaking out with rashes, skin blisters or peels, or developing a sudden wheeze, all of which signal a red alert. In such cases, halt all consumption of SirRodcasts and seek immediate medical attention. SirRodcast is not for the faint of heart. Proceed with caution and always keep your healthcare provider on speed dial for any unexpected misadventures.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce you to one of the nation's most exciting entertainers. He is the former creative director for So Deaf Recordings. He has one of the best-selling artist development books, The 10 Commandments of the Stage. All the way from Atlanta, Georgia, put your hands together for the Star Maker, Mr. One-Man Show, Ollie Patterson's baby boy. Give it up for Sir Rod Patterson.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of the SirRodcast. I'm your host, Sir Rod Patterson, a.k.a. Sir Rod the Entertainer, Sir Rod and the Blues Doctors, and Sir Rod the Motivational Speaker. As I say so many times, I got a lot of titles. But today, Sir Rod the Podcaster. Oh, we got a terrific show. I like to try to keep things under 30 minutes, so we're going to try hard to try to keep things moving today. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Let's get right on into it. Let's jump into our first segment of the day. And that is... We're Just Talking. Yeah, we're just talking. I haven't done this segment since maybe the first couple of episodes of the SirRodcast, but I decided to bring it back because the subject I want to talk about today is, they've been making the news, J-Lo and her situation with Ben Affleck, and I was, but she's having a little bit of luck now because her movie on Netflix has been #1, and it's really pretty good. It was a pretty good movie. Me and the manager checked it out. Yeah, pretty good movie. But I was thinking to myself, like, why a beautiful woman like J-Lo and others like her, Halle Berry, and I don't want to go into too many other women like her, can't seem to be able to hold on to a relationship, if you will. And that made me start thinking about some old saying my mother used to tell me all the time, and this holds true. My mom used to say, it's easy, real easy to get someone, but the trick is keeping them. Yeah, it's real easy to get someone, but the trick is holding on to them, keeping them. That's hard. Speaking of myself, if I got another book in me. I know I got another couple books in me at least. I'm an author, 7 books, but I got a couple more. But one of the books I'm going to be writing about is going to be on relationships, because I am, me and my manager, I call my wife my manager. We'll be going into our 29th year of marriage come September. 29 years. And we dated, oh my God, maybe 3 or 4 years before that. So we 30-something years in. Prior to that, I was always in some kind of relationship, since I was 13. I think I might have had a year or so off. But even in between there, I had supplements. I like to call them supplements. That's nothing to brag. If anything, I think I'm what they call codependent. But I've learned so much being in relationships for such a over half my life. So I know a lot about relationships. And So I think I'm going to do a book on relationships. But that old saying, it's easy to get someone. It's hard, hard keeping them. I did a video post on about wedding rings because I have a wedding ring and I hardly ever wear them. Yeah, I got wedding rings. And I got one for special occasions and one for every day. This is one. For those of you listening, you can't see it, but I'm holding up 2 wedding rings. And one's a little more fancier with diamonds and stuff. That's for special occasions when you go to something dressy. And then I got the everyday one for changing car tires. But one thing I tell and my manager / my wife, you don't trip. I told her don't trip because, some women they lose it when the man goes out without a ring. I say the only thing, and I'm going to tell you, and I did a post on this, a video about it. The only thing that a man's wedding ring guarantees, only thing this guarantees is that no good girls try to holler at me. That's it. Only the bad ones. All the good girls see the ring and leave you alone, but the bad girls, they don't care. So what I've learned over the years in these relationships, I'm going to try to impart that in a book. But thinking about the J-Los and why they're jumping in and out of relationships, what I've learned is all about compromise. That's it. Compromise and common sense, but compromise more so. It can't be 100% your way and 100% her way. You got to meet each other in the middle. And what all works for the common good? You guys going in one direction together. And if you're trying to going north and that person's trying to go south, you guys got to come into some agreement. Maybe y'all go due west or southeast or something, but y'all got to come to some conclusion of where y'all going. And then the old Bible stuff, somebody's got to be the head. Somebody's got to lead. And if you decide to be the leader, you better be a good leader. Because you got to pay the cost to be the boss. And nobody's going to follow you down into the gutter or off a cliff if you don't know where you're going. And also there's always, there's so many things. People with money, your relationships with money, how do you, your bank accounts and one person's a saver, another person's a spender. There's a lot of different variables. Can you live together? Does somebody snore? Does somebody don't snore? Is somebody a night owl? Somebody go to sleep early? One person an introvert, one person an extrovert. These are a lot of variables that makes it hard. Like I said, it's easy to get someone, but it's so hard keeping them. But if you can manage to work it out, and I think after going on 29 years, we've worked it out. I think I got something to say about that. All right, we're going to keep it moving to our next segment of the program, and that is time for the good news of the day. Yes, good news. Oh, the good news is going to be, it was a viral moment that happened on earlier this week. Whoopi Goldberg on The View had a Sister Act 2 reunion. They were celebrating, I think, 30 years since they made that movie, and it became kind of like a classic. And so they had a lot of the original cast on there, going through the same motions that they usually do for these kind of things. But what made this one a little different, towards the last end of their segment of taping the show, they did a big choir scene where everybody was singing. And something happened during that episode, that singing, that, like I said, the spirit of unity was there. And it just became such a touching moment. And I think from what we're seeing online, and it's just the beauty of just seeing all those different races and all those different people coming together in unity, singing, and just really heartfelt. I think that touches anybody when you can see just diversity working together. And that was just such a good news, and that just touched me. And so anything that touches me, I'm going to share with you. And that's good news. And good news for them on their 30th anniversary, and good news in the spirit of unity. That's just a beautiful scene. And congratulations, Sister Act, to 30 years. Yeah. Now, this brings us to our next segment. And our next segment is Blues News. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is live TV. I like to call it live TV when things don't seem to go the way you want them to go. But unfortunately, I got to report some not so good news in the Blues News segment, because SirRod and the Blues Doctors had to pull out of their Somerset series in Oxford, Mississippi. I was already locked and ready to go. I was picking up my rental car when Brother Adam Gusso is our harmonica and our percussionist and a blues legend. He played on the streets with my uncle, Sterling McGee, a.k.a. Mr. Satan, for many, many years. And so Adam is arguably one of the best, if not the best, harmonica player in the world. Well, him and his wife, and congratulations on him and his wife celebrating 20 years of marriage. They went to Rome in Italy, and they did the little thing. And so we knew he was going to be out of the country, and he was going to be coming back to the States a couple days before we actually do the gig. He plays it kind of tight like that from time to time. That's okay. He's done things like that before. Cool. But this time he came back last night, and he said that he wasn't feeling well, and he did his temperature, and his temperature was 101.2 or something like that. And that's pretty much, he think he had the flu. I say, no, Brother Adam, you might want to go and get you one of them tests, that CV test, that COVID test, and see. And so, safe than sorry, we decided to let Brother Adam rest. And also, if he is dealing with COVID, he needs to let that run its course. I told him, I said, stop stressing and worrying. I know that this is rare. You wouldn't just call or try to, get out of a gig. I know if this was and I told him, I said, if this was a life and death opportunity where, we had to do this gig and it's going to set us up to go to the stratosphere for the Grammys or something, then we got to do like we used to do it back in the day. Back in the day, when you had 100 and something, you were flu or whatever, we didn't care. You put a pail on the side of the stage and you perform, and then you run over to that pail, you throw up in it, and then get back on behind that microphone and keep going. The only reason you wouldn't perform is you was in a hospital with tubes in you. But this ain't that kind of gig. So I told him, I said, we got a whole lot of stuff ahead of us. Rest up, brother. Glad you made it back safely. Get through this flu-like COVID thing, whatever you're going through, and let's keep it moving. But the good news is that our summer tour is still on. That's right. Blues Saved My Life summer tour is still on. So you still got a chance to catch SirRod and the Blues Doctors. I'm going to be announcing those dates in the next coming episodes. Or you can always go to our SirRod and the Blues Doctors website or SirRodPatterson.com. If you got any questions, SirRodcast@gmail.com. I'll be putting our whole tour schedule on there. So we're going to keep it moving. All right, let's wrap this on segment up. I told you I try to keep the time schedule down. Our next segment is Numbers Talk. Yeah, Numbers Talk. Now, Numbers Talk today is going to be kind of simple. Actually, we had someone that sent a direct message to me, and I read it, and this young lady, she has been dealing with numbers over the years, and she's kind of contacted me from time to time, but she has a different kind of scenario. So she's been seeing 222, 333. I forget the exact attention number that she sees a lot. But the thing that stood out to me is She says she's been seeing this license plate, a South Carolina license plate. It's been coming across her a lot. She says she sees them everywhere. Being that she lives in Georgia but sees South Carolina. Now, the states are pretty close, so I can see being hypersensitive and seeing these, but this also, South Carolina has some kind of tie with her, and whether she needs to make a move to South Carolina or something personal going on with her in South Carolina. And she wanted me to, kind of try to interpret what she was seeing. I said, well, I know you've been seeing this for a while. My reply was, you've been seeing this for a while, but I think, and this goes out to you, if you're seeing something a lot and it's trying to get your attention, just be patient. Be patient. It will reveal itself sooner or later. And that was my advice to her. Just be patient. The meaning of the South Carolina license plates will reveal itself sooner or later. Now, I haven't had any significant, red robins. When I'm either on a walk or I'm doing something and a red robin flies across my path, to me, that's good luck. Or I feel like I'm on path, I don't know. I just get a good vibe from it. This might be me. I may have issues. But for me, every time I see a red robin and I'm either en route or doing something, it always seems to be good luck follows. But as of lately, it's just been the numbers 444 and 555 as usual. Still seeing those. And of course, threes are just universal. So that's my advice. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything, or have you ever thought about that? If you've been seeing, So what is your attention grabbing good luck pieces or guidance that you may see? SirRodcast@gmail.com. Let me know. Hit me up, and I might, just like I did with your young lady, bring it up in the next podcast. You never know. All right, let's keep it moving to the next segment of the program, and that is...
Hey, the joke of the day. Hear the joke of the day.
It is time for the joke of the day. The joke of the day. It's been a couple episodes that I skipped the joke of the day because it seemed like y'all weren't getting my jokes. So we're going to do things a little different today. I got a joke. It's a riddle and a joke to me. But what I like about this, I saw it online at one, I don't know, TikTok or was it Instagram, one of the two. But this guy was talking to his woman, and he posed a riddle to her. And I like the riddle because it's the answer and the question at the same time. Now, for some reason, to me, it seemed like women won't be able to get this as quickly as men. But maybe I'm a little biased. But I'm going to give the answer on the next episode of the Joke of the Day. I'll give you the answer if you don't figure it out. Some of y'all are going to go ahead and cheat because you can't wait, but that's okay. You can cheat if you want. But if you figure this out, you are really, really smart. All right, here's the riddle and the answer at the same time. What has 4 letters, sometimes has 9, but never has 5? I'm going to say it one last time. What has 4 letters, sometimes has 9, but never has 5? Can you tell me what I'm talking about? You could email me or put a comment on whatever you're listening to. Put it in the comments. Let me know. But it's the answer and the question at the same time. What has 4 letters, sometimes has 9, but never has 5? You let me know what that is. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the joke of the day. I thought that might work. But anyway, this brings us to the final segment of the day. And that is, hey, this is your boy SirRod. Are you enjoying the SirRodcast? If you are, then do me a favor. Please like, share, do a positive review. Help your boy out. Let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this party going. I really enjoy this, and I got so many ideas, and I really want to grow it. So, like, share, follow. I really appreciate it. Thanks. This is the final segment of today. Just my thoughts in a closing. Today, my thoughts are on with a friend of mine who just lost not just his father last week, but less than a week after that, his mother passed as well. And they were older. Not that means anything to your loved ones. And they were struggling with dementia, but that is a hard one to lose just one parent, but two within the same week. So my hearts and prayers go out to my friend. I said this one time before, the eraser is real. And the older I get, these late 50s, it's just happening so much. If you got loved ones, don't take them for granted. Don't take them for granted. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that and all these, any petty differences or arguments, quarrels, you need to squash it. I mean, literally, you don't realize how fragile life is and how quick time just flies. I wanted to bring up the subject of forgiveness. Forgiveness. The act of unforgiving is a very selfish thing, because when you don't forgive someone, you're playing on the premise or operating on the premise that you have forever. That life you'll get to it one day, or that you have all the time in the world and that person's going to be around forever. Apart from them murdering someone in your life, I can't think of anything that, other than some devious act that, even then, you may not want to deal with that person, but holding on to unforgiveness. This old cliche, you hurt yourself more than you hurt that person. But I'm talking for petty things like arguments, or that person wasn't there for you when you were a kid, or that person said something to you a month ago that hurt your feelings, and you run around mad and upset. And that person may not even know what they did. Sleeping well, and you're just mad, and every time you see them, those old feelings perk up. That is foolishness. That is foolishness, and very, very, very selfish. Also, the act of, and when I say that unforgiveness only hurts yourself, to me, I want to use as a parable or an illustration for you. Just imagine forgiveness is a parachute, and that person who hurt your feelings, made you mad, did something cruel to you, I don't know what it is, whatever this thing in your mind, but the act that they did would be like you being on a plane and you're talking to them, and then that person does this act, pushes you out the plane. Now you fall. Now, you can choose to forgive, but in order to forgive is to release your parachute and save yourself, or not forgive and perish. That's kind of how I see it in my mind. You have to pull the parachute. The parachute is not for them. The parachute is for you. You have to forgive. You have to let it go. God deals with it. If they're unjust, God will take care of that. Life is too short. Literally, it is too short. It's hello, then goodbye. Just that quick. Don't let them steal any of your joy from you. Don't let them steal. You don't have to forgive and forget. You could forgive and don't deal with. Because once somebody show you who they really are, then hey, I don't like rattlesnakes. I would like to have a rattlesnake for a pet, but rattlesnakes bite. That don't mean you hate rattlesnakes, but rattlesnakes are not good pets. So that's all I'm saying is you got to release that parachute. Let it go. Whatever the aggression is, whatever the offense is, whatever it is, throw your parachute. Glide on away from that situation. Let it go. And you keep on living and enjoying this life. Just life is too short. And how my brother Les Brown would say, since you can't get out of life alive, you might as well have a good time. And if unforgiving is making you have a bad time in this little short life, you need to forgive and let go. Now, that's just my 2 cents. I might be right. I might be wrong. These are just my thoughts. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and conclude the SirRodcast. Listen, I had a good time with you. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Episode 10 is coming around the corner, and then we're going to lock and load and get ready to just keep them going. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your attention. But most of all, I want to thank you for listening. You've been a wonderful audience. You didn't have to, but you did. You gave me just a little bit of your time, and I really appreciate that. But now, what I need you to do is cut off whatever you're listening to or however the device you're on. Cut it off and go out and find something else better to do. And then after you do it, holler back at your boy and let me know what you did. All right, guys. Y'all be blessed, be safe, and I hope to see you on the next episode of SirRodcast. See you then. Peace.